Everybody, I know it has been some time since I've made a video, let alone a plein air video like this is. And there's a lot of good reasons for that, honestly. There's lots and lots of good reasons for why it's been this entire year that I haven't, almost like 3 months, almost 4, since, you know, I've made a video at all. I felt a little bit disenchanted, I suppose. This is nice. Got all the water from the valley here just flowing down, flowing, and going right down back to the ocean there. I think that's pretty sick. I love seeing that sort of stuff. And I think seeing this sort of stuff just kind of reminds me of what made me fall in love with painting to begin with. What ended up happening along the way is you kind of get separated from that. Let me put you up. You kind of get separated from that, and you kind of just get stuck in this sort of cycle of making videos to make videos, you know, instead of like making art to make videos, you know what I mean? And so there's like this really funny sort of balance that kind of ends up happening. Let me take this off for a sec. Is that you find yourself in this predicament of, okay, I love to paint, I love making videos. I love doing both those sorts of things. However, at the moment, in the moment, you don't realize that it sort of changes, and it changes into this thing of, oh, now I've got to make a video. I've got to film this painting because this painting might turn out great. That's the thing about art, we never really know if this painting is going to turn out amazing. So what ends up happening is you have to film everything. You have to film everything, because if you don't, and you only film here and again, then you miss the opportunity of capturing a great painting, you know, and you risk the risk of filming a crap painting, spending all your effort and time in filming a crap painting. And you're like, oh shit, I wasted all that time. And so it becomes this, like, instead of this desire to create and just spontaneously make a video, paint, it sort of conflicts. And I think that's what's been happening in the broader sense of things to me as a whole throughout my life as I'm talking to you now, and why I haven't been posting at the moment for the long while that I have. Yeah, anyway, look, I'm gonna keep talking throughout this video, but this isn't the beach I want to paint at. Oh, and funny thing, I only brought one panel in this entire box, and it's just a little panel. It just shows you how little I've been out of touch with plein air painting, is that I forgot to pack more panels, right? Oh, I didn't forget to pack them, they're in the car. I just forgot to bring them down with me. And that's just like a fucking 2 kilometers up that way. So, yeah, this isn't the beach I want to paint at. The beach I want to paint at is just up and over on that side. So, let's get cracking. My phone here because I can't be bothered to get out my camera in the bag here. There's the beach. literally right there and below me here. But I cannot for the life of me find how to get down to it. There's a part that kind of looks like it's through there, but it's through some fucking really tall grass. That's just begging for snakes. If you don't know much about Australian bushwalking. Like, I threw some timber into it to see if it can stir anything up. And all I hear is this like shh, shh, through it. And I'm like, oh fuck, there's definitely a snake in there. And if I keep going more, the more I risk not knowing how to get back, because it all kind of looks the same. And I only kind of have an idea of how to get back through here because I've just walked through it. But it's like right there, you know? And, you know, saying it's right there is kind of like the the line that everybody uses before they get fucked. They're like, oh, but it's just, I can see it, it's right there. And that's the line that you always hear before people get fucked. So, I'm just gonna have to go back to the other beach, I think, and paint there. So that's the snake pit through there. You can kind of see how that there's an opening, kind of, and there's kind of like a path through here and to that opening. But yeah, like I said, chuck something in there, and I heard shh, 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 shh. Sounds like a snake or some shit. Does feel like it's been forever, honestly, since I've loaded up a pallet. And that's saying something, because I went from loading up a pallet, painting like 4 or 5 times a day on different paintings for like 10 hours, 16 hours straight. And then for the last 3 months, I haven't painted at all. When you're on location, right, and you don't have your sketchbook with you, you don't have anything like that, but you do have your phone, we can actually sort of line up our phone, sort of get the composition that we want, and then we could take the photo as is and sort of work out the composition using the camera here itself. Obviously we're not going to be painting from the camera, but it's just a great way to get out a photo, find the composition that you would like, and just play around with that photo and crop it in different ways and different to sort of match your panel here. And you can just crop that photo so you can match the size of your painting. So essentially the photo takes place of the sketch that you would initially do in your sketchbook. So, been really enjoying this whole process, once again being on plein air. So that's number one, that's the biggest thing right now. It's just, I'm just feeling back in my roots, immersed within it, enjoying it. So that's probably one of the best things that I'm feeling right now. And then it's like a complete clear sky out today. You know, there's a couple of clouds back out there, but it's beautiful. It's such a beautiful day because we've had such a long, hard week of rain and floods in some of the areas around me and stuff. There've been flooding. A couple of houses were actually washed down the Hawkesbury River, which is pretty crazy. But anyways, besides all that, beautiful day. Really enjoying the process that is painting right now. I'm really liking this composition. I'm really glad that I chose it. Just watching all the rain that's been falling in this valley and over this whole hillside for the last week. It's just been flowing down, trickling down through all these streams here, beautiful down into the ocean. And I'm loving that I'm able to capture that. I've got lots of different blues and yellows of the sort of the wet rock, the wet mud, and sort of trickling through there, trying to find those dots of colors. And this beautiful yellow, I don't know what it is, moss or something growing over this rock, which makes it look so nice and yellow. Just looking forward to dashing that on top of here when I can, and then moving up eventually into the background here. So I've done the foreground, done a little bit of the midground, working the midground currently. Background, going to be working those transitions and the values in that grass, because you can see how it's kind of like this wider grass and this like more vibrant green grass like in front of me here, and then it's like this more dead grass up there. So using those values and those tones to my advantage, I'm going to be able to sort of make this nice composition, hopefully nice composition with the flow as I paint through it. Anyways, that's just a nice check-in, working through this sort of thing. So there's that painting done. I'm quite happy with it. I think it looks nicer from a few feet away, where you can kind of see things come together a little bit more. But for the first plein air painting back in over a couple of months, I think it did really well. You know, I'm quite happy with the way that look turned out, and the scene is quite beautiful. And I think, you know, even if I might want to in the future or something like that, and revisit it maybe on a larger scale, something like that. It's a really nice reference to have for that. So other than that, I think it turned out pretty swell, and to be honest, it's been really nice to see all this paint once again. It gets me excited, you know, just seeing all the paint there, or painting come to life. I'm on location. Oh God, like I can really feel that excitement that I felt when I first started doing this years and years ago. And I think that's what's so incredible about this break that I just took, this 3-month break. For better or worse, it's reinvigorated me and reinvigorated my passion for this. And on the topic of that 3-month break, I feel like I feel like I would like to explain a few things to everybody here, what's been happening the last couple of months. So let me take a few minutes to sit down, pack up, and I'll talk you through what's been happening. So, as you all are very much aware, like I said in the beginning, I haven't painted for the last 3 or so months. I was talking about how it had been getting increasingly harder to support not only myself but my family, now that I have a family, with art. And whether that's a case of, you know, a lacking of ability within myself, or the way that I market myself, you know, perhaps where I live, my location, being in Australia, certainly, you know, the grass always looks greener on the other side, but it does seem like America has way more opportunities for artists than Australia does, and will ever for quite some time now, from the looks of everything going. But, you know, I don't want to put blame on anything but myself, you know, because, you know, it's silly to try and blame things that are outside of your control, when all we can really do is sort of just think about the things that are within our control. And so with that being said, you know, I had a choice quite recently where I had to face that, okay, I'm not really, you know, I'm making money, but I'm not making anywhere near enough to support a family, right? And I really need to support my family, otherwise we could end up homeless. You know, that's a fact. You know, we could be hungry. You know, and I don't want to put my family in that position in where, you know, they have to support me in my dreams and ambitions, so that maybe one day it might all pay off, you know, if I just stick to it, you know. And that's simply insane, and you could never ask that of anybody. And if you do, you need to really reevaluate yourself. And that's what I did. I reevaluated myself. You know, last year I stopped working full-time and started doing this full-time, started painting full-time, doing commissions, etc., full-time, and getting into galleries and stuff like that, which is all well and good, but none of that is enough to actually support a family, to support myself. It doesn't pay enough. Simple fact. It's not that I'm greedy or living above my means. By no way am I living above my means, but it's just a simple fact that it just doesn't pay enough. It pays, but not enough. And so I had to sort of reevaluate. I'm like, okay, well, look, my daughter just turned 1. We had to move out of the place that we were living in for the last 3 years. And it was really hard to try and find a place, let alone, you know, get accepted for one. Thankfully, all's good. We were able to find a place. And so that whole period, the last 3 months of just trying to find a place, reevaluating, like, oh my God, look, I need to take on more responsibility than I have ever taken on. And I take on a lot of responsibility as is, but I think that this call to uphold as a man, to support and provide for my family, is something that I need to abide by, you know? And a lot, you know, if you were to talk to me a couple of years ago and been like, Zach, what's the most important thing above all else? I would have said painting. I would have said art. But now I just laugh at myself. How could I have ever thought that? You know, the most important thing is family. And that's you always hear that, but to come to that epiphany, that a realization of that fact, is something entirely different. And that's something, you know, I learned over the course of being with Av, my fiance, and then having our daughter, over that course, it's just, you know, I'm like, God, you know, there's way more things more important in life than art and painting. And I couldn't see that for such a long time, that it, you know, it blinded me. And I thought I had to pursue this or I might die. And that's how I felt inside. And it was true. I might have died if I didn't pursue it at the time. Who knows, you know? But that's the way I felt at the time. But now I'm on the other side of that. I'm looking at my daughter. She's a year and a half, or a year and 3 months, sorry. And I'm like, God, fuck. What if I, you know, I've got to do something that ensures that she can, you know, have a good life. And my family can have a good life. And we don't have to worry about where the food's coming from, where's the rent coming from. All that sort of mundane shit that you don't really think about when you got a regular job. But when you're painting full time, that's all you're constantly thinking about. And that's where the collide of art, passion, and having to provide came to a collision, and I had to really sort of reevaluate myself, thinking, fuck, what is it that I really want in life? Do I want to be a successful artist with no family, no food, you know? Or do I want to be, you know, possibly a successful artist or an alright artist people know of? I have a great family, they're loved for, they're provided for, I have a home for them that I can give to them, things like that, you know? And so I've sort of switched gears, I've sort of switched paths. I've put my art back to where it used to be after hours sort of work. I just love I love painting, I love art, it's my passion, but I don't think it's something that I can pursue full time anytime soon. And anytime soon is like next 10 years plus. And that might sound scary for some of you, but it's a realization I had to come to. It's like, all right, I need to reevaluate. And so I took that and I thought, okay, now that I know that it's something I need to pivot, what is it that, you know, I can still enjoy, I'm really interested in, and I can do full time without hating myself. So of course I was like, not retail again, I'm done with retail. So but funny thing, I can't remember how it came about, but whether I was watching a YouTube or something came into my head. I don't know what it was. I was thinking about it. I had it in my head for like a week. And then at some point during that week of just having it in the back of my mind, popped into my head. I was like, it would be good to know about real estate, you know? I was like, yeah, it would be good, you know? You always hear about these things about the housing, blah, 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 markets, etc., but you never really understand them, nor does anybody explain them to you. And so I was like, where can I go to learn how to do that? Or learn more about that? And so I just sort of kept thinking about that, and I found like a guy called Ryan Sahant on YouTube. He's on like $1 Million Listing New York. It's a TV show. And he has a great YouTube channel. And he's such a down-to-earth, genuine, funny dude that I really resonated with that. And so I was like, okay, this sounds like something I'm interested in. And so I just consumed a lot of videos of like just him following his life, the people he meets, lots and lots and lots of problem solving, which is what I love doing, because that's why I paint, because painting is just all about problem solving. And so I was like, this sounds like something I could do. This sounds really interesting. And so, surprise, I'm doing real estate. And so I just finished my course. It's just an assistant real estate course. It's a certificate of registration sort of course, which allows you to then practice real estate, and more specifically sales, you know. And I really enjoy the art of sales. Like if you read, I really enjoyed the art of sales, like the straight line sales tactic by Jordan Belfort. These are all things that I've read over the course of being an artist and consumed, is like marketing, selling, things like that you have to know to be an artist full time. And that's things I really enjoy doing. I really enjoy setting up the deal with the commission, setting up the premise, you know, working through it, solving problems. People don't like it, they come back to me, I fix it, stuff like that. I really enjoy that, and it seems like a real estate agent sort of fits that bill in a way. I won't know till I do it for a couple of years, of course, but it seems like something that I could just genuinely enjoy and genuinely be able to just go through day by day and be the best that I possibly could be in that field, and still have time after hours, of course, to sort of paint in the studio on weekends, holidays, etc., like I used to. So it's nothing I'm not used to. So that's kind of where I was at. I kind of felt the urge, the calling of destiny, and I thought, shit, I have to respond. And so that's kind of led me to where I am now. I've got a couple of interviews lined up, which will be interesting. I'll let you guys know about that if I land anything. And yeah, I've created a separate Instagram account so that I don't bombard you guys with real estate jargon bullshit when I market myself and in that sort of ways. But I really feel like I could be a genuine help to people. I really feel like I could be a genuine help to people in that field, as well as learning for myself, you know, being selfish, learning those things to help myself, and then also to earn money to provide for my family so that we fucking have a home to live in and food on the table and shit like that. So yeah, that's kind of where I've been at. Sorry if this is a little bit longer than you'd wanted it to be. Hopefully, you know, if you just wanted to stick around for the painting segment, you stuck around and enjoyed that. Yeah, so hopefully that wasn't too much information, but I just felt like it's something I had to talk about with you guys, or share with you guys, because, you know, I don't want to put out so much content, started a podcast and all that, and then all of a sudden just dropped off the face of the earth. I just wanted you guys to know that that is what's been happening. Anyways, I'm pretty fucking thirsty because I forgot a drink bottle. Yeah, that's just to go how, you know, this shows how long it's been since I've been plein air painting. I just forgot the one thing I need to bring, the drink bottle. So I'm gonna go hike up this fucking hill and back to the car, drive all the way back home, and drink some water. Other than that, guys, I hope you all understand. This is a genuine thing. I hope you all really understand what I'm going through and what I have to go through, you know? I love art, art's in my veins. I love painting, painting's in my veins. Something that I could never not be. But however, it's not my number one priority. My number one priority is to take care of my family. And I think that is the number one priority that not only I have to take on, but, you know, being a man, that's what we're born to take on, is the responsibility to protect and serve our family. So yeah, I'll catch you guys later. There'll be more videos like this, probably not many like tutorial orientated videos, a lot more just plein air, enjoyable type of videos. That's another thing I got kind of sick of. One last note, I got kind of sick of the whole art scene of just, this is how you do a line, this is how you make black, you know, that sort of shit. You know, it's very mundane, you know, everybody has a video about beginners, blah, 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 blah. So I hate that whole aspect of tutorials. It feels not genuine to me. But what does feel genuine is coming out here and painting on location, making videos for you guys. That feels genuine. That I enjoy, and that I can feel happy about putting out to you all. So probably not any more tutorials. Definitely, I'll try and upload the rest of my podcast episodes. I'm really sorry to the artists that have been on that I haven't uploaded those podcast episodes, but know that I've just been very busy. Things have been on top of me, and the rest of those podcast episodes are coming along with hopefully more episodes like this, plein air painting. Obviously they're going to be a lot more spaced out than they used to be. I say that after 3 months of no post. But yeah, I hope you guys can understand, and you know, share your thoughts with me in the comments. I'd love to talk to you all. And so yeah, anyways, I'll see you all very soon. Appreciate it. Bye.